Attention please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
Jill's an avid fan of the show, but couldn't come to the studio, so we decided to pay her a visit instead. Let's take a look and see how we got on.
My name's Jill. I live in Bushey, Hertfordshire. I'm in my mid-50s. I've always wanted to see a medium because I'm interested in that aspect of things. I've got a very open mind. A lot of people are very sceptical, but I'm not.
Right, okay, I've got a gentleman starting off trying to connect to me. He's giving me the feeling that he had far too much energy for a man of his age than was good for him. And I do feel that he reached quite a reasonable age, but he always seemed to have this exuberance of energy, more or less right up until the end. I wish I could get the exact relationship with this gentleman, but I'm either talking about your dad or your father-in-law, and I feel I've got to stay with Dad.
Yes.
He was a fiercely independent old boy, wasn't he?
Yes. My father was very independent. He liked to do things his way and the way he wanted to. My father was born in 1919. He was a quantity surveyor by profession, and he had to interrupt that to go to the army during World War II, and he would always do his best for us. That was all he was concerned about, his family.
Dad's showing me quite striking images of India.
Yes. Yes.
Almost like vivid postcard images, picture cards of India. And he doesn't want to tell me why, he won't explain to me why. But he just asked me to mention about India and that you would understand the reason why he asked.
He was in Burma during the war.
Right.
And he went through India.
I think it must have had quite an impact on him.
He came home with polio, so that had quite a big impact on him. He didn't see very nice side of India, only the sort of the worst bits. But he was always telling us about the story of going to India and obviously coming home after he'd had polio, whereby the other soldiers who'd had polio died, and he was the only one that survived.
Well, would you understand about somebody that contracted meningitis?
No.
Or, no, show me again, because I'm misunderstanding this. Now, the reason why I felt possibly it could be meningitis, he's showing me an image of someone who either had to have lumbar punctures or had to have injections into the spine. No, I know you're in a wheelchair, but was that you?
Yes.
Right. They mucked it up completely.
I was diagnosed with MS 5 years before my hospital visit, where I had a major attack, and whilst I was in intensive care, the doctors were trying to tell me that I had meningitis, whereas I knew that I'd got multiple sclerosis, and I told them this, but no, they were quite assured that I had meningitis, and I was quite angry about it, and I used to tell my dad about this. They didn't know what they were talking about. This was a real mess up.
Look, this is going to sound ever such a strange thing, but I've got to say it. Do you have a reoccurring dream about dancing?
Yes, I do.
Because he's just told me that he has to tell you he sees you dance in your dream.
Yes, I do.
And that was the only way I could understand.
Skating as well.
Yeah, like ice skating and like very...
Yes.
Yeah?
I get this dream quite frequently, that I just stand up out of my wheelchair and I dance, mostly on skates, because I did skate as a teenager. And it's so easy, and I just glide across the ice.
You've got an appointment to see a consultant. It's either at the end of June or the beginning of July.
Not yet.
I can't alter it. I can only tell you what your dad's showing me. I don't terribly like predictive elements, but I feel that Dad would only talk about this if this was something he knew was going to come up.
2 days later, I got 2 letters from the National Hospital of Neurology that I wasn't expecting, and they were giving me an appointment in June and another one in August. All right, so that wasn't July, but I don't think the NHS ties up with psychic readings.
Look, this is going to sound ever so strange. Did your dad have strange toes?
Do you know, I don't know. I'll have to ask my mother.
He's making a joke about particularly the right foot, not so much the left foot. And all he keeps on showing me is the toes on the feet.
Right.
And you know what I'm going to have to say to you is I don't think you're entirely meant to understand it, but I think if you ask your mum, she will understand why he mentions about the toes on his right foot.
Okay. I didn't realise my father had strange toes, but when I mentioned it to my mother, she said yes, he did. On both feet, the 4th toe on both feet sort of grew under the others towards the big toe. I was quite surprised about this because I'd never heard of it.
Really, really nice guy. I just wanted to come and say hello to you.
I'm glad.
And Jill, with that, I'm going to leave your dad's love with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I thought the whole reading was wonderful, but I was so surprised that he brought up the India connection, the meningitis connection, and the dancing in my dreams connection. It just blew me away, really.
Come on, sweetheart. I'm being drawn down to you, okay? Now, the feeling that I'm getting, my love, is that I've got a lady here with me, and as she's trying to connect to me, I was saying, she's got quite a similar face to you, but she's much bigger, all right? Mm-hmm. As in, much bigger, all right? Don't mean that rudely, but she is. Mm-hmm. That's what she told me. I'm much bigger. And my love, a strange thing to tell me. My love, have you been complaining that water tastes funny?
Yes, at work, I do.
Because she's just actually said to me, you can tell she's right, I wouldn't drink that water. Mm-hmm. She just put that very clearly in place. She said, I do miss gossiping with you. Putting the world to rights. Mm-hmm. And she was very touched that only very recently you've said how much you still miss her. Mm-hmm. You know, just saying, you know, in fact, you say it quite a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you have 2 sons?
2 girls.
You've got 2 girls. You've got 2 brothers.
1 brother.
Who are the 2 fellas then?
Who I think you're talking about has 2 brothers.
She has 2 brothers,
yeah.
still with us this side of life. Would you please then understand why she's talking about the fact that she'd like to grab hold of them and bang their heads together at the moment? Yeah? Okay. Is this gentleman your husband?
Husband.
Yeah. Can I just actually say to you, sir, she's also just brought me over to you and she's saying you'd make her very, very happy if you let her have the chair by the window.
That's one in front of the television.
All right, okay. But she's got a great fondness from you because you always used to wind her up.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And she said she's still got this great fondness for you because even when she... And she's just shown me... Would you understand she used to get most awful, like, stomach cramps or stomach pains? And she's saying even when she felt the most miserable, you would go and make her the cup of tea. You were the one that made her smile, that made her laugh. Yeah. And she said, you know, she'll never, ever forget you for that. All right. Has your eldest daughter had her ears pierced in more than one place?
No.
So who's the young lad, the young girl that's had their ears pierced in more than one place?
My granddaughter's got her ears pierced, but she wants more.
Oh,
in her ears.
no. I can understand what she's on about then. Would this girl be about 11, 12 years of age?
11.
Yeah, no, you can just tell her, you know. Is it grandma we're talking about here?
No, my aunt.
So it's auntie. All right, okay, you tell her that auntie then said no. All right?
So did I.
I'm going to put it as in a milder version of it. She knows that the both of you, back in the early part of this year, I'm seeing about March, April time, both of you were feeling a bit low and a bit down and a bit depressed, both of you. And she's just saying, you've got to tell them, I'm so happy to see them both so much happier now. I'll leave Auntie's love with you.
Thank you.
God bless. Take care.
I was nervous because I knew the minute you said, this woman who looks like you, only she's bigger, and I knew right away it was my auntie and that she died last year, my auntie Cathy, from Stornoway in the Isle of Lewis. She was very special to me, very special aunt. No children, and she kind of adopted our nieces, so to speak. Yeah, she was a very special person. And her husband, Ian, he came, our daughter got married a few weeks ago there, and he came for the wedding and said to me the minute he saw me, he says, you're just like your Auntie Cathy, you're getting like her every time I see you.
She used to get most awful, like, stomach cramps or stomach pains.
Well, that was just last year. She took unwell, and it was with terrible pains in her stomach, and she was taken to hospital, and they did some tests on her, and then it came out that she had cancer, and that was it. Within a couple of months, she was dead.
She's got quite a similar face to you, but she's much bigger.
My aunt's uncle Ian sent down a photograph of Cathy when she was 50, which is probably the approximate age Anne is at the moment, and the similarity is fantastic. So when I gave it to Anne, we put it away in a special frame. But coming down to this show, we decided to bring it with us.
You would go and make her the cup of tea. You were the one that made her smile, that made her laugh.
Because the feeling was mutual. And he did say that I made her laugh, and I used to make her a cup of tea and stuff. I did make her a cup of tea, but there was a wee bit more stronger stuff than that on occasions, you know, which went down quite well, you know.
She'd like to grab hold of them and bang their heads together at the moment.
She had 5 brothers, and 3 of them have passed away over the last few years, which I've left 2. And Colin said that Colin said that they should bang their heads together, but they don't really relate to each other the way they should as brothers.
My granddaughter's got her ears pierced, but she wants more in her
Oh,
ears.
no. Can you tell her that Auntie then said no?
She's got her ears pierced at the moment, but she wants another couple of holes put in them. And I said no, she should wait till she's older, but she wasn't too happy about that. So the mere fact that Auntie Cathy's come through and says no, then she's on my side again.
I'm so happy to see them both so much happier now.
We had a fallout in January, and it lasted for 2 or 3 weeks, and everything got back together again, and everything was rosy again in the garden. And Cathy's just come through to let us know that she's happy that everything's now back on track.
I'll leave Auntie's love with you.
I've always loved watching this show, and I thought I'll believe it when I see it, and now I've had the reading, she's come through to me, and that's it. I'm a believer.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me today here on The Sixth Sense. My name's Colin Fry. Please join me again soon. Thank you.
People are very
Absolutely.
sceptical about the spirit world, including myself, and the fact that we've come down and Cathy's come through to us has made me a believer. Normally men don't believe and they show a machoism, but if they could come through what we went through in this reading, they would change their mind.